All right, now let's see who my Discord server picked for me. I don't think I said it at the intro, but I want to take up a skill champion to rank 2. I've been trying to decide between my Sig 20 Crossbones and I think my Sig 40 or Sig 60 Elsa. Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, it's time for the rank up roundup for March. Now, it's been since January. I just checked since I did one of these videos. So there is a lot. There's a lot to get to. Probably not going to put gameplay in any of these, so I do apologize for that. But what I'll do is I'll go over each one. I'll be quick about it, and then I'll tell you why I ranked them up. And then the cool part about this is, with so much time going by, is I can tell you, is it working out or not? And then if you can do me a favor, let me know if you've ranked these champions and or if you want to see gameplay out of them. It'll help when I do sit down to do videos, review videos, let you know how good I think they are and why they're in the tier list, the spicy meter and or an essentials or something like that, or a showcase. Let me know which ones you actually really want to see. All right, let's go ahead and start off with this. Like I said, there's a lot to get to, and I want to start off with, I finally ascended my rank 5 Hulkling. Now, you know, I took Hulkling as to the highest rank I possibly did a long time ago, right? When I was in CCP, I reviewed him. It's like, this guy is amazing. He's been phenomenal. We used him in EOP. We've used him all over the place. So this was kind of an overdue one. This is an example of what I was talking about, or what I talk about when I say, like, I really prioritized 7s as soon as they were coming to the game. And I'm now actually slowly moving back to taking my 6 stars to rank 5 and ascending them. It's working out really well for me. He's been phenomenal in Battlegrounds. I've been using him in Tier 1 War last season, and he already came in to this first war of this season. So he's great. I've got a ton of Hulkling footage. You can check all these in the playlist section of my channel. All right, let's go ahead and get to the next one. Okay, the next champion that I took up was Havoc. Now, you can see from having 640, that means I pulled him quite a few times to the Titan Crystal, and I wasn't terribly upset the first time, not terribly upset the second time, because I got a dupe, which was nice, get the Sig going. And then the last time, like, I was just, But here's the thing, I've taken him to rank 2. He's been phenomenal in my Battlegrounds deck. Now, a lot of that has been due to I spec into Inequity. We've talked about that quite a bit, and he's great with that. But he has also come into play, and he's actually, right now, given how well I know how to fight Onslaught, which is pretty iffy, he's my favorite counter for that. I'll probably put out a short on that or something like that. It does feel like cheese. Like, I don't know if it was intended or not, but Havoc continues to come up and find ways to do this. Like, I likened him to a cockroach, and I mean that in a positive, actually. He's like the MCoC cockroach. He just keeps surviving. He seems like a very well-made champion. He's got that really high energy resist. He can get around things like Korg and stuff like that, and then do some really big, different types of damage via the specials, or he has the plasma burst and that sort of thing. So he's been great. He's pretty much been a mainstay in my Battlegrounds deck, and I have a feeling that I'm going to get him assigned a lot in this current war season. Okay, the next one was Atuma. Now, I think I pulled him. I remember talking about either on stream or I believe it was on stream. Maybe even talking about ranking him up. And a lot of people were like, really? Are you sure? I know we have him really high rated in my tier list too, not just in Battlegrounds. He's very usable. Shockingly, if you're not concerned about being super fast, right? He's Battlegrounds more typically is going to be defensive prowess. Getting him awakened was really helpful for that. But then, you know, even on my Discord server and our Necropolis channel, he was used in a few Necropolis lanes right there. And then he's got a true accuracy off his SP1, which is really incredibly helpful. And then he's insanely unique with the way he deals with ability accuracy. I will say, though, I will admit, right, this is why I said part of what I want to do is to tell you, like, this is how this is played out. It's just some due to time. I have not had a lot of time to dive into him offensively. So he's mainly been a Battlegrounds defensive mainstay. I do want to eventually really learn to play him, maybe get out a few more videos on things like that right now, because most of my knowledge on him as far as offensive use is based on what I've seen and the expert advice of other people. If you have Atuma and you really like him, let me know. I do know my alliance mate Nagase, an incredibly skilled player, is a really big fan of Atuma as well. All right, the next one's my boy Guardian. Now, this one I can speak at length as far as my own personal experience. You right away went into my Battlegrounds deck, even at just Sig 20, and I think a lot of it he could do even without the Awakened ability as all, but as that signature ability goes up, it's just going to get better and better. I will get out, I think it's going to be a short as far as fighting Domino. I did do the full Guardian review, updated review on him. We placed him with the Spicy Meter, placed him on the tier list, showed you why I have him as super hot. I mean, he's phenomenal. He's in the second highest tier. He's great. He's Battlegrounds is really giving him a place to show off, right? He's obviously very good, often in the tech EQ and in general questing. The way he can get power back from pairing specials, The Hulkbuster Relic is very helpful as far as getting the speed going in Battlegrounds. If the current tier 1 tactic in War wasn't as, I'm going to use the term punishing because that's just the way it is. It's very difficult. And I think often you're wanting to bring in your tactic attacker. So I think if he was ever tactic for something, you're going to see him really show up again there. But I think as you move down into lower tiers, I could see him being used very, very well, especially at the higher SIG, because he is going to get that energy resist and the bleed resistance going really high. And like I said, can be used phenomenally well against Domino. I even had some really good results against some very high SIG Dominos, even with only a SIG 40 Guardian. I have had zero regrets in ranking him up, and he will be someone that I consider taking to rank 3 when it's time to take up a tech. Okay, I know, I can like see, I can feel all of you throwing rocks at me through this, being like, why did you do this? We do not want to fight him. He is a menace to fight in Battlegrounds, right? We are figuring out ways to fight, and we're figuring out different champions. Like I just showed Guardian. Guardian actually not a bad option at all. My girl Kushala is a phenomenal option. Grass showed that. Make sure you check out Grass's channel for an amazing, amazing fight. So we're figuring out options. I showed you Iceman against him, but here's the thing, and I did do the video on this. And a lot of you did tune in and you're like, yeah, actually he is really good offensively. He's really good offensively. He's an absolute blast to play. His flow is fantastic, phenomenal. He's really good with recoil, also good without. I really like him, and I have been using him offensively for like questing and things like that. Of course, he's in my Battlegrounds deck mainly as a defensive option, but if they can be bled, he's not a bad backup option. A bit of a dual threat there as well. And like I said, can definitely be used questions. If you have questions about him, again, go to the playlist on my channel under Bullseye. Did the full review, showed you why. I have him in the super premium tier. It's the second highest tier. He got a super hot score. He really is well made and a lot of fun to play offensively as well. All right, I mean, I can't believe I haven't made a standalone video for Rank 3 America Chavez. I think it's just because I've done so many America Chavez videos and things like that. In all of them, I talk about how to play her. I believe I'll get out a Rank 3 video because, you know, when I decided to go ahead and take her up, there was some thought of like, does she really need it? Does she need it? No. Does any champion really need it? No. But she is hitting that much harder, ending war fights, battleground fights that much faster, even with the very punishing tactic last season, still bringing her in, taking a tremendous amount of fights. She's great in battlegrounds. She's not quite the defender that she maybe once was, but if your opponent doesn't have one of those really great science options or like an Archangel or something like that, and even then, she can still mess people up with her AI and its very strong heavy bias. She's phenomenal. She appears to be one of the better counters to the newest defensive menace in the game of Serpent. She's just great. She's phenomenal. I love making videos on her. I know sometimes every once in a while people ask me to do like the full like how to play her, but I've done that, made that mistake before where I do all these showcases and then I finally do the how to play. And I spend a bunch of time on it, and a lot of folks don't end up watching them because they've watched all the showcases. But I guess if enough people ask for the how to play her, we'll do it. Maybe what I'll do is I'll do the spicy meter one on her. Let me know if that sounds like a good idea. Just kind of do the more basics, how to play. Here's why we have her ranked where she is. Is her SIG important? Is she recoil friendly? That sort of thing. And then I'll do a rank 3 showcase as well because she is one of the best champions in the game. Phenomenally well made, absolute blast to play, and incredibly unique in her class and very, very powerful. All right, so I finished up Necropolis, and instead, I knew I was going to eventually. I wanted to get to it relatively quickly, and I think in the big scheme of things, I did get to it pretty fast, you know, with the player base as a whole. So I didn't rank up my 6-star Maestro. The defensive, the signature ability is helpful, but I knew I'd be ranking up the 7-star. Took him up. He's done his job. He's been a stall in Battlegrounds. If someone has like an America Chavez or a Cosmic Ghost Rider, hello, or a Kushala, I've shown that many times, they can handle him. And there are other champions that can handle him as well too. But he's done his job. He's been a big meat shield that I can place on defense, cause people to take their time and that sort of thing. So I've been happy to actually have used him once or twice offensively. It's not the fastest, but he does a decent job. And a lot of my alliance mates there in SSX have who have taken theirs to rank 3 have shown some really impressive fights offensively too. So he can ramp up, he can get things done. He does have a slight amount of dual threat ability in Battlegrounds. And of course you could take him to war or into your questing too. He's got all his immunities. He's not bad. He really isn't. All right, let's move on. So there's this guy. His name is Hercules. You may have heard of him. There's really not much to say about this, except for, like I said, I'm putting my resources into my 6 stars again. The Ascension Dust is coming in. The most broken champion in the game. Let's make him as brokenest as he possibly can be. He's been good. He's been in my Battlegrounds deck. I have not gotten to use him in War, but if you just want to check out mentally, he's great for it. He's been fun in incursions. I really do enjoy playing him. He's really a lot of fun in my opinion, and so I ascended Hercules. Okay, recently I was able to take up a 4th rank 3, and I know that's a lot. That's pushing the edge there a little bit, unless you went insane in gifting, which I did not. And I was able to take up Photon. She did go directly onto Battlegrounds defense, and she started picking up kills like that. Like, she's just been consistently getting a 1 or 2 kills or something like that in every battle, in every war, which has been phenomenal. That's one of the reasons why I picked her. Now, the other thing is, I've been saying for a while, but once since she initially came into the game and I was able to test her, that I feel like she is almost like a perfect champion for our game. She is not the best offensive champion. She is not, but she has enough things in her kit. She was given enough utility and very tailored, specific utility to defenders and nodes that we are often seeing that are made to be difficult, that she can counter them so incredibly well. In fact, I'm realizing I don't think I've done a full video on Photon, and I need to. She is that good. I think everyone realizes why she's so good, but that she is so good, but I'm not sure everyone realizes why. Let me know. Do you want to see that video on her? I'll do the spicy meter video on her, kind of explain why she's ranked where she's ranked, all the various pieces of utility, and like how you can use that to your advantage, taking out some really, really tough fights. Like, I used her for Shuri in Battlegrounds recently. She did a phenomenal job. And then if you do enjoy Battlegrounds, you can take her as a defender. If your opponent gets, Mantis or something like that, or a Crossbones or an Elsa Bloodstone, you just take Photon off of defense, move her to offensive, and there's a good chance that your opponent has drafted a defender that Photon can really do some serious damage against. All right, now we're at the first champion on this video, and it's interesting to see this for me. That I will say, I want to preface this right now by saying, like, I don't think I'm playing him very well. I'm pretty confident in it. And if you want to see some really good Mojo gameplay, I'm going to link Trappy's channel. If I can find the specific video, I will. I know I've watched it, but I'll link Trappy's video showing Mojo in Battlegrounds. It is very, very impressive. Like, I'm aware of what Mojo can do, and I've been talking about this for well over a year now. He's very unique in the Mystic class in his ability to lessen the duration of buffs, right? So it's kind of a unique situation, but he does have the Nullify off of SP1. And I don't want to say I'm disappointed. I wouldn't not rank Mojo. What I am disappointed in is that I'm not using Mojo nearly as much as I thought I would. If I'm just looking to have some fun and, do some questing and have a good time, I bring him in because I do really enjoy him. But as far as using him like in Battlegrounds, where I thought he'd become a pretty good dual threat, not as much defensively, but someone I could strategically use on either side, he hasn't really done that for me. I'm going to try to play a clip. Hopefully I'm able to do it here of him being used against Maestro. He was really good for it. And maybe this is one of those things where it's like, I just have a bountiful amount of options where I'm often like, well, I've already got America Chavez, I've already got Kushala in my deck, I've got Titania, these sorts of things. And so I'm using them there instead. I'd really like Mojo. I think he's great. I'm going to direct you over to Trappy's channel. So until I'm ready to get out a Mojo video and really show you all these things, you can have some evidence and see he's a worthy rank up. But I want to be honest with you and tell you, I'm not using him like I thought I would. All right, here's another example of I'm starting to put my resources, my rank up resources, into my 6 stars. My Battlegrounds, about a little over 1 week into the season, my battle group asked if anyone would be willing to rank up their Apocalypse to rank 5. We were using him on the map, and then also to create a horseman sunspot, if I remember correctly, to take a very difficult polka dot power bullseye. It's just the way it was working out. I really like Apocalypse. If you're familiar with my tier list, you know the spreadsheet wizards made the spreadsheet so you do not have to have the rankings consider Battlegrounds or War. You can remove either. And if you remove Battlegrounds, Apocalypse skyrockets up the rankings because he is so good. He's great for questing, long form, short form, the whole thing. He's just not fast. That's it. That's okay. He's just not great in attack on Battlegrounds. Really huge health pool, really great to use in War, fantastic to use in questing. He can make horsemen, he can keep all his genetic code for himself. Really, really happy that I took up my Apocalypse. Now, the irony is he didn't get assigned the rest of the season, but it's totally cool with me. It was nice to know that he was there, and it gave me an excuse to use some of my rank up resources on a 6-star that I really enjoy playing. I have no regrets about taking him up. And I think if you're coming up in this game and you've got some long form to do and you love your mutants, I think take him up, you know, to have some fun with it, especially if Battlegrounds aren't like you're not trying to push that or something like that. I think he's a great rank up. I have no regrets. He's being used exactly how I hoped and thought he would be. All right, this is for sure completely 100% an aspirational rank up. I have the 6-star at rank 5, SIG 200. I've been telling you guys about Iron Man for months and months and months now. I've even said, like, I don't think he's a 1-for-1 replacement of Nimrod, but the way the nodes are coming out, the way defenders are coming out, I think he's like the new role that that Nimrod often played, and he can do so much more. I've shown you so much in war videos and things like that. Now, I am, and I'll tell you, this was definitely aspirational. I was hoping I would awaken in a Titan Crystal. I don't know. I do think sometimes they don't always make sense. And this is an example. I'm just ready. I'm ready for him to get awakened. And if he does get awakened, he will definitely be on my short list of champions, along with Guardian and Shocker, for the tech champion for me to take to rank 3 first. I love him. He's phenomenal. I think he's tailored very well for where our game is now and in the future. But being fully honest and transparent with you, I'm not using him. He's a rank 2 that's just sitting there waiting to be awakened, waiting for more rank up resources to come. If I need an Iron Man right now, I'm using my 6-star rank 5 unascended. All right, now it's time for Kindred. You know how much I enjoy Kindred. This is similar to the Mojo situation where I'm not using them as offensively as much as I had hoped. I do think I need to learn to play them a little bit better. There is some rotation essentially, or like in the minute thinking on SP1 to the SP2 to use your heavy, to use your power, that sort of thing to get going. I do have a nice relic I can attach to get those degen going. Now, the thing is though, and this is the thing, Kindred has just been a mainstay in my Battlegrounds deck, and I play pretty much a Mysterium 1. Okay, if I'm really grinding, I know I can push up to the higher tier Celestials. I can't get to 1 or 3 or 4 or whatever. No, I'm not saying that, but I know I could push to, I think, at 6, right, is the lowest rung of Celestial. But I pretty much hover in Mysterium depending on how much I'm playing. And in that level of the game, which I think is like the top 800 players, okay, so between 600 and 1,000, Kindred gets kills, even for people who know how to play Kindred, because the way Kindred is set up is a phenomenal puzzle. If you make a single mistake, you're going to have massive problems. And that's whether you bring in a counter or a non-counter. I love Kindred as a defensive design because even people who do not have the perfect counter can come in and have really good success. You got to know what's going on. I've done the how to fight Kindred video. You can look that up on my channel if you're interested. And then as time goes on, I hope I'm able to get some good footage, get the time to really invest in how to play Kindred offensively, because they are unique, they are relatively powerful, they are not fast, but they are good, they're strong. In fact, I will link Grass. It was Grass's channel. I'll link the channel. I'll try to find the video. I saw it, took him to I think tier 2 war. Grass is a very good player, plays at a relatively high tier, and Kindred was great, did exactly what they're supposed to do. They're just not fast, but again, that's okay. Not everyone needs to be fast. I have zero regrets with this rank up, and a champion that, like, even just looking at them, I'm like, I gotta make more time to play Kindred. I gotta do it. So there you go. That's why, and I'm very happy with that rank up. All right, here's the rank up no one saw coming. Black Panther Civil War is a tactic defender for the current Alliance War tactic. Someone needed to do it, or at least it was asked for my battle group, and I volunteered, right? I'm in a position where I could make this rank up. It would not hurt my account. It would not, like, yes, I could have maybe ascended Kingpin or something like that from my Battlegrounds deck. I'm doing just fine without an ascended Kingpin or something like that. So I wanted to volunteer and do this. I'm extremely happy to do it. I love the team aspect of war, but I want to be abundantly clear with you. This rank up serves absolutely no purpose outside of Alliance War defense. And that'll be about it for the next two tactics, next 2 seasons, unless Black Panther Civil War gets buffed or something like that. Hopefully that comes. I feel like that was rumored at some point in time, but I made this rank up completely thinking that I may never, ever use Black Panther Civil War offensively, and I'm very okay with that. I know, if you didn't throw rocks at me for bullseye, you've now picked up a large boulder and have now placed it squarely on my head. I do not blame you. I get it. I understand. This is kind of what I'm doing now, though, right? Like, you don't see me open up the Paragon or Valiant or whatever crystals very much anymore, if at all. It's just not what I'm enjoying doing. But when a champion who is sold to us and told us, and I play them on the CCP, and I'm like, this is going to be a really difficult defender, comes into the game, I like to try to take them immediately to rank 5 and ascend them. I get, you know, one of the deals, and here you are, you're seeing it with Serpent. Now, here's the interesting thing, and if it's a deal, a champion, is anyone surprised? They do seem to have some offensive use. I do not believe they are nearly as powerful offensively as Photon is, but I do think this is a much more difficult defender, even if you have really good counters. So I think it makes sense. I've enjoyed immediately placing Serpent into my Battlegrounds deck. Every time I place it on defense, he has done everything you would hope and more. As time goes on, people learn to fight him. They'll find counters and that sort of thing, of course, because that's the nature of how this works. But I have also used him offensively. It's really fun. He powers up. Again, maybe not the fastest champion, but not everyone needs to be fast. I'm very okay with that. We talk about this sort of thing all the time. I had a blast to use him in the event quest this month, and I will probably continue to use him offensively if and when I can. He's incredibly, incredibly fun to play, and we will eventually get a video out on how to use Serpent. I have no regrets about ranking up Serpent. All right, this rank up is kind of a funny one because I realized I had a leftover Love 4-5 gem. And I looked at the champions I had left that I have not already taken to rank 5. Most of the ones I wanted rank 5 I had already taken. It was between Null and Human Torch, and I use Null every single day in AQ to take, well, they used to take out a Red Skull, but they've recently changed that. So I still bring Null. Now I'm wondering if I really should. But I was doing that, and because of that, I know that Null can be very good for Red Skull. Red Skull is starting to show up in Battlegrounds more and more and more. Null is a decent defender, especially if you spec into Inequity. I've been talking to you about how I really think Evade is back, and Null can handle Evade very, very well, just using SP1 and the mediums. So I use him to take the Nightcrawler that's at the end of that path in AQ. Fantastic champion, one of my favorite champions in the game. I love playing Null. And so it just felt right. I was like, you know what? I've just got this rank up gem sitting left over. I basically was like found money in my sofa, and I just put it into Null, and so there he is. All right, now let's see who my Discord server picked for me. I don't think I said it at the intro, but I want to take up a skill champion to rank 2. I've been trying to decide between my Sig 20 Crossbones and I think my Sig 40 or Sig 60 Elsa. Both have been utilized by other people, of course, to just absolutely destroy my Photon and Battlegrounds. I like both champions. I cannot make up my mind on them. I'm more new in learning to play Elsa than I am in Crossbones, but I'm relatively on the newer side. I have a lot to learn about how to play both of them well. And I left it completely up to my Discord server about 3 hours ago, 2.5 to 3 hours ago. I put it up saying, like, you all vote. So let's go ahead and take a look and see, and I will take up whoever has won the vote. Hopefully it is not a tie. All right, here we go. You can see I have quite a few notifications. I've intentionally not read them because I didn't want to see what anyone wrote. I just wanted this to be a complete surprise. I said I'd rank up whoever it is, and I want to do it. They're helping me out. I love doing the stuff with the Discord server. So here we go. We're going to find out together. We got to scroll up quite a bit. Wow, there's a lot of writing, which is not surprising. It's a very fun and active server. I really enjoy hanging out with this group. And let's see, people are recommending stuff. Here we go. Here's my, it is a tie. Oh my God. It is a 9-9 to Elsa 2 Elsa Bunny tie. I've checked in with my Alliance online chat and said, oh, Simula with the pick secures it for Elsa Bloodstone. Let's rank her up. Thank you, Sim. Shout out to him. Always helpful with those guides and all the champion reviews and war videos. In fact, if you enjoy my war videos, I'm not putting them out this season unless there's something truly extraordinary, new, or unique happens. Make sure you go check out Sims. They're phenomenal, and you will learn how to get better at this game. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sure I'll put in a sped up version of me ranking up Elsa right here. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the rank ups, and also let me know, which champions do you want to see those review videos on? Thank you so much for watching. Take care.